20 power tips for creating a winning ebook. Tip number 1. Make your book different from the rest. Don't just make another fitness book, make sure it stands out in some way. Tip number 2. Choose a niche with a value proposition. In other words, concentrate on what your book can do to make your readers' lives better. Tip number 3. Introduce scarcity and urgency. Generate more sales by having a limited number of copies or a limited time discount. Tip number 4. The introduction is super important. This is especially important if your ebook is going on Kindle where people can see a preview. Tip number 5. Create a stunning, high-contrast cover image. This will grab the eye and pique interest. High contrast is important because your image will often be black and white and small. Tip number 6. Publish a hard copy version. This widens your audience and makes you look more professional. Tip number 7. Publish to multiple platforms. Don't stick with selling your ebook from your site. Publish to Kindle, to Nook, to Google Play and to iTunes. Tip number 8. Try reading your book aloud. This is a good way to check it flows. Tip number 9. The main aim is readability. If you're unsure whether to use a certain phrase or word, just ask if it enhances or hinders readability. Tip number 10. Choose a good font. This makes a big difference to that initial impact and also helps make your book more readable and pleasant. Tip number 11. Add images. These two make your product seem all the more worth the money. You can find free images at freeimages.com and other similar sites. Tip number 12. Choose your route to market before you begin. If you have any useful contacts, then write your book around them. Know the editor of Gardener's World. Then write a gardening ebook. Tip number 13. Think about how you can reuse content. This might mean using old blog posts as the basis of your blog, or it might just mean republishing essentially the same book with a few key changes. Tip number 14. If you struggle to write, force yourself to just write something. Even if it's just your diary, it will help you to beat writer's block. Tip number 15. Download Freedom. This app will help you to avoid distractions. There are also a number of specialist word processors out there that take up the whole screen. Tip number 16. Read other similar books. This will give you ideas and the tone of their writing style will sink in. Don't copy their style though, find your own. Tip number 17. Write what you know. Always write on subjects you know, enjoy, and understand. Don't make things up on a topic you don't know about. Tip number 18. Outsource. If you're struggling with some aspect of the writing or with the design for your cover, etc., consider outsourcing it to a professional. Tip number 19. Find a subniche. Often the best niche is a smaller subcategory of a much larger one. Tip number 20. Update your ebook. Remember, an ebook can be updated every day, much like an app. Listen to feedback and improve it over time.